Hello and welcome to the first official ABC podcast for V. We've put in some pretty long hours here on the set over the last few months, and we're really excited that all of you are finally getting a chance to see the show. Each week this podcast will bring you here to the set to get a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to put this show together. You'll get a chance to hear directly from our cast and crew, but let's start at the beginning.
It was a fantastic miniseries. Ken Johnson, the original creator of the show, did an amazing job, and we wouldn't be sitting here without him. And so we've taken the bones of that show and we moved the story forward. We've introduced some brand new characters. We have some brand new themes that sort of open up the story a little bit more, certainly make it more relevant to the 2009-2010 audience.
We've got moms and priests and couples and kids and everybody who are living their normal lives when these giant spaceships showed up. And the spaceships show up promising, all your problems are over, we're here to take care of you.
The thing that I've been continually impressed with is how widely known and how favorably and fondly remembered the original series is. It aired in 1983-84, and yet you tell people that you're on this show and they're like, oh my God, I remember that show.
Obviously, we have a lot to live up to. We're hoping to bring in a whole new world of folks who've never heard of V or seen V before in its original broadcast. And I think if you're a fan of the old one, come and give our show a chance. And listen, you're either going to love it or you're not, but give yourself a chance because, we think you will.
One of the iconic moments from our first episode is the arrival of 29 enormous spaceships around the world, and that one enormous face.
My name is Anna, and I am the leader of my people.
Never thought I would see my face that big, under a spaceship, no less.
Don't be frightened. We mean no harm. Please accept our apologies.
I don't know how I would feel if I were the person staring up at this enormous face in the sky. I think that they did a really good job with the language of it and make it sound very serene and sweet. And I certainly tried to do my best to make this character as appealing as possible because she knows that she needs the humans to trust her.
In the pilot episode, what gets set up is that clearly Chad, as a news reporter and as an ambitious professional, has an agenda. Anna, the leader of the Visitors, played by Marina Baccarin, has her own agenda. We don't know clearly what it is, but she's got one.
Her people need certain minerals to survive and water, and they're here to get that in exchange. They're going to give medical advances and technological advances to humans. And you start to discover that it's not all they're after.
Clearly, there's an enormous amount at stake for her. And for Chad, he believes himself to be the best person for the job, that when alien ships show up over all the major cities of the world, that he should be the voice that people lean on.
I think Anna selects Chad because she sees something in him that is ambitious and that will, like her, do what it takes to get what he wants.
Excuse me?
Don't ask any questions that would portray us negatively.
There are high stakes on both sides, and neither one of them are really willing to completely give in. And so that kind of cat and mouse game between the two of them should be a lot of fun.
You know, the word evil, I think, is unfair. But I think Anna is a good leader to her people, and she'll do what it takes to have them survive and thrive.
We are of peace. Always.
Visual effects are such a huge part of our show, and they're pretty amazing, thanks to production designer Steve Gagan and his team.
One of the more interesting moments for us in the premiere was the development of the Seeker. The Seeker is a V surveillance and assassination device that seeks out its intended victims, and as it approaches the victims, it begins to send out its array of spikes, and then when it spots them and gets within its territory, it explodes. The actual Seeker was developed in about a day and a half. We knew that it had to be highly technological. We knew that it had to be organic, but geometric in its shape. And taking those particular elements in mind, we began looking at spores and pollen grains for those particular elements. When we showed the idea to both the executive producer and director, they got excited about it, and that's where the development of the Seeker began. In reality, there is no hardware involved. We never built one, except in our illustrations and virtually.
Each week, this podcast will give one fan a chance to have their question answered. This week, Morris Chestnut, who plays Ryan Nichols on the show, was asked if given the opportunity, would he go aboard an alien spaceship?
If I could go aboard a spaceship, would I go aboard a spaceship? Hell no. I mean, did you see the beginning of Star Trek? I mean, I would go aboard the V ship. The mothership is so cool, you know. Did you see the suspending apple in the episode? Did you see the fine people? If you have fine ladies and suspending apples, I'm on the ship.
Now we want to hear from you. So please send along your questions to vfanquestions@abc.com. I'm Scott Wolf. I hope you've enjoyed this official V podcast from ABC. On behalf of the cast and crew, thanks for supporting and watching the show. We'll see you next time.